introduce the speaker of the second session of today's event, Dr. S. Dominic, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Applications, National Institute of Technology, Trichy. So we are actually happy in our sense because he is our alumni. He did his PhD from our university, Gandhigram Rural University. He has nearly 13 years of experience, teaching experience, and 18 years of research. His research specializations include data compression, automated image, video analysis, computer vision, and deep learning. He has published 50 plus research articles in national and international journals and conferences. He is a vibrant researcher with 326 Google Scholar citations, H-Index 8 and I-10 Index 8. He has organized several workshops and training programs. He is sanctioned with funded research projects from DRDO, NVIDIA Corporation, DST, DSHA Division, DST, TSD Division, Qualcomm Project for Mobile Application Development. He is also a recipient of NVIDIA GPU Grant Award in the year 2018. He has been serving as reviewer for reputed journals like IEEE Transactions on Signal Processing and IET Image Processing. We are extremely happy to have Dr. S. Dominic for this session. Now over to you, Dr. Dominic. The platform is yours for the session. So thank you. We thank you for accepting our invitation and being part of AIMS 2021. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your introduction, madam. Okay. So good morning to everyone. It is my pleasure to share my knowledge on deep neural network models for AI applications. So whatever I have learned, that is, I'm happy to share with you all. So total, including me, 43 participants. So it's my pleasure. So now I share my screen. My screen is visible, right? So
yeah, yes, Dominic, no. But it's, I think can maximize, right? It's a small.
Yeah, the presentation will be only.
Okay.
Presentation, it is in presentation mode only. Okay. So here that is the topic is neural network model for AI applications. That is a topic that is climax. But even then, the important point is the fundamentals. Actually, always I would like to teach the fundamentals, because if you know the fundamentals, later you can build your own models or own thing. So that is always that I would like to have that type of approach. That's why actually that the title is Learning in Simple and Deep Neural Network. So that will from simple to deep neural network. The deep neural network models, you know that there are different models. That is a CNN. Maybe it may be covered by that is other resource persons, and even LSTMs, the famous models is there. So that may be covered by some other persons, some other resource persons. But my actually that is my my concern is to teach you the fundamentals, how that is fundamental things are there in the neural network. Actually, that machine, you know, the machine learning. In machine learning, that is this is one of the approaches in machine learning. That is deep learning techniques, or deep neural network, or simple neural network model-based techniques as the part of the machine learning, that is components. Okay, so you know that is AI. Actually nowadays everywhere everyone is talking about artificial intelligence and AI applications. Actually this is very famous, actually, particularly neural network based models. That is specifically deep neural network based models, very popular and commonly used in almost all the fields. Because the reason is that comparing existing methods, comparing existing approaches, it can able, I won't say it will give 100% accuracy, 100% results. I won't say, never say, but it can give better result than the existing one. Okay, existing one, all the researchers, okay, are going behind the deep learning based techniques or deep learning methods. That is deep neural network models are famous, and also that design of the deep neural network models very important for AI applications. So every application, you take medical field, agriculture field, then even industry. So in all the fields, even finance sector, okay, all the fields, that is the performance of the deep learning techniques. So better than the what they have had or they have already. So that everyone is using deep learning techniques for AI application. That is for in their applications. So in line with that, I start with here, the name is learning. Okay, learning in simple and deep neural network. How learning is happening in simple and deep neural network model. And before going that is the differentiation between the memory and learning. So this is because this we have to understand. So what is happening in training the deep neural network model? What is the difference between remember and learn? What is the difference between the that is even that is robo? Okay, that is robo is able to learn the environment. That is different. Suppose that ready-made thing is, what is the difference between the ready-made or acting according to the situation? So here remember and learn. So the remembering just what is there in the our that is storage, retrieving and using. That is a remembering. But learning, it's not like that. It is a generalization according to the situations. According to the situation, that the problem can be solved, or it can be whatever that existing things can be used to solve the problem. So that is the learning. So the special characteristics of the human being or human brain. Okay, so that that human brain can learn, and then whatever learned, retrieved and applied according to the situation. So whether the same thing, that is our human biological brain, but the same thing can be realized in computing model, whether it is possible. So now I would like to teach you the what is the mathematical model. Here also mathematical model is very important, because the neural network model is nothing but model of the human, that is a human brain. Even that is, we could say that the deep neural network model is the model of the human brain in brain. What is the basic element is a neuron. So here similarly in a deep neural network model or a neural network model, the basic element is artificial neuron. Now, so that is the, so our deep neural network model is nothing but model of the human brain. So now the human brain is modeled mathematically. That is called that is artificial neural network or deep neural network. So the here mathematical modeling is very important. We have to understand what is the mathematical model. So after telling this, then I will come to the this slide. Okay, this slide. So what is the mathematical model? So mathematical model, generally, model. What is the mathematical model? Because it is related with the neuron, that is a biological neuron and the artificial neuron. Okay, so mathematical model in the sense that is, so that the verbal statements. So verbal statements should be represented by mathematical equations and notations. So say for example, some of the numbers, okay, some of the numbers this much, difference of those numbers this much. What are those numbers? This is the problem. Okay, this is the problem. But that problem, okay, how I can represent using mathematical equation and notations. So so here we have to identify what are the variables, okay, so what are the equations, and then if you find out those things, then it is nothing but mathematical model. So the two numbers we can say x and y. So sum of two numbers x plus y is equal to this much. The difference of those numbers x minus y is equal to this much. What are those numbers? X comma y. So that is the okay. So that is, see now the verbal statements. So the verbal statements. What are verbal statements? Sum of two numbers, difference of two numbers. What are this is verbal statements? The same statements, the three statements, I can represent using the mathematical notation and equation like x plus y, x minus y, and what is x and y. So this is the typical model, mathematical model. If you have the model, then there are different approaches to solve this equation, because these two equations are these two equations are simultaneous linear equation. There are different methods to solve this one, because LUT conversion method is there, that is Gauss. That is Gauss elimination, Gauss-Jordan. So there are different approaches to solve. So the modeling is very important. So if you have the model, that's why in the research also. So any research, suppose if you are working, okay, you are getting results, but if you don't present it correctly, then it will not be published or it will not be accepted. Okay, so that modeling very, very, very important. So now come to this point. So now I think you can understand what is meant by mathematical model. So representing the verbal statements with the help of okay mathematical equation and this notation, it is a mathematical model. Okay, now here what is the role of mathematical model here? First we have to understand how the brain or neuron of the brain can will work. So then the similar thing whether it can be realized, okay, in the form of computing model. So or the same thing then can be represented using mathematical equations. That is that can be possible. Okay. So first let me explain what are the components in the that is in that is a neuron. Okay. So here it is given. So you know, because that is a neuron is called as a processing element or processor. So here it is like a computer or small computing unit. So computing units, there are inputs, then processing, then outputs. Okay. So here that the neuron can be viewed or can be visualized. Okay, can be viewed or can be visualized as that is as it contains inputs, processing, and outputs. So here the dendrites. Okay, dendrites are called inputs. Then dendrites are from other neurons. Okay, but dendrites will not be come to one neuron directly. It will be weighted. Okay, that is called a synaptic, that we will see. Synapse is a link. Then cell body, that is a soma, that is a processing. So the process or kind of it will perform the operation. The operation could be some or even other operations. So here, so that is the processing. Then action, that is the output. That is the output. Okay, that is the output will be transferred to other neuron. But this output as it is will be transferred, or portion of the output will be transferred, that will be there. Okay. So now these are the different properties or functions of the neuron. That is a biological neuron, not a simple neuron, it is a biological neuron. Okay. So that's why here the brain is composed of a mass of interconnected neurons. So then the brain is equivalent to we can say neural network model or deep neural network model. So inside, what is the basic element? It's a neuron. So the basic element for the brain is neuron. This is we can easily understand if you take computer architecture, that is a combination circuit in the computer architecture and organization. Sequence circuits, we know that is a complex circuits or sequential circuit and combination circuit. But whatever the circuit, what is the basic element? Gate. Okay, the gate is the basic element. But even for gate also, what is the actually for if you think about the combination circuit basic element gate, but if you think about the gate, very basic element is what is a transistor. Okay, very basic element is a transistor. Without transistor, you cannot realize the gate. Without the gates, you cannot realize the, or you cannot build the combination circuit or sequence circuit. Similarly, here, if you take very basic element neuron, okay, so neuron can be able to transmit signal to from each other. That is one neuron to another neuron. So whether the signal will be transmitted as it is or thresholded or portioned, and then the signal, actually that information will based on the strength of the bond. That is a synapse. That is nothing but weight. Okay, based on the weight of the signal. Okay, weights of the signal, whether all the inputs will be transferred or portion of the or percentage of the values, that values from other neurons, okay, or directly we can give. So that's called the strength of the bond or synapse. So now from biological neuron to artificial neuron. See, now what is a biological neuron? Now that model of the biological, mathematical model of the biological neuron, it is nothing but artificial neuron. So mathematical model of the biological neuron, that is nothing but artificial neuron. Before that, first we should know, because whenever you talk about the mathematical model, you should know what are the inputs, what are the outputs, what is the process. Okay, otherwise you cannot build the model, whether mathematical model or any model. So here also, in the previous slides, we have known that what are the inputs, what is the process, what are the outputs. So now come to the, see here, now this is the typical mathematical model. See here, the dendrites, here we can call this or we can model as a variables, or input 1, input 2, like that. So how many dendrites are there? How many? That many number of variables. So that is the inputs. Next one, synapse. Because already I told that the inputs could be from other neurons. So the other neurons, that is the dendrites, that will be weighted. Okay, so that will not be passed as there. That will be weighted. Weighted inputs will be passed to the soma. Okay, that's why weighted inputs. That is called a weighted inputs that will be passed to the soma. That is a processing unit. Then here sum of the processing is nothing but sum. So sum of the weighted inputs. So that is the sum of the weighted inputs is nothing but soma. So that the processing is nothing but summation. Summation of the weighted inputs. Now the summation of the weighted inputs. Okay, so that will be outputted. So that output function is the activation function. So now the summation of the weighted inputs will be passed to the activation function. That the activation function will produce the output. This output will be passed to the next neuron as a input. Again, that input will be weighted. Okay, so like that it will be going. Okay, so now, so here from this what we can conclude, whatever there in the biological neurons, I can represent using the mathematical variables and the equations. That is dendrites variables, input 1, 2, 3, and synapses, that is the weights. Then the processing, sum of the weighted inputs. Then output, that is the activation function. Okay. So now the only one thing is left at what is that? What is the specialty of the biological neuron? Biological neuron can be able to learn according to the situation. The learning. So learning can be done automatically. That is there in the biological neuron. The same thing how can be done or it can be done in artificial neuron. That is, we can do it changing the value of the connection weights. That is changing the weights. So changing the weights is nothing but learning. Okay. So changing the weights, because the learning in biological neuron because of the electrochemical changes. Okay, that is a biological factor. Okay. So learning occurs via electrochemical changes in the biological neuron, but in the artificial neuron, changing the learning how can be realized through changing the weights. So that is the question. So this is the question you can note down. So that is the how learning is happening. Okay, how learning is happening in artificial neuron. through changing the weights. Okay, that is an important factor. So now see, now the entire biological neuron can be represented as a mathematical formulation that is called artificial neurons. Okay. So the same thing here it is given. So here that is called, when you talk about artificial neural network, it is called node. So when you in the context of biology, it is a biological neuron. Okay. Then when you talk about when you talk about the mathematical model of the biological neuron, that is nothing but artificial neuron. Okay. That is in the context of the neural network, that is in the subject, it is called perceptron. So the artificial neuron, it is called a perceptron. Okay. So in perceptron, that neuron is called node. Okay. So it depends upon the context. We have the different name. Okay. So different names. So it is called node. It is called perceptron. It is called artificial neuron. Okay. So now see here multiplies. See what is there in the artificial neuron. So in the AN node, okay, if you take one node, in one node what are all things there? So the one node, there are inputs, there are weights, there are operation summation, then that will be given to the passed to the activation function that will produce the output. So one node means what are the things are there. So multiplies each component of the input pattern by weight of its connection. So that is that node will do. Then again other second point, sums all weighted inputs and subtract the threshold value. Actually threshold value also one weighted, that is a negative. Okay. So that operation also done by the node. Then transforms the total weighted input to the output using the activation function. So that also the node will do. Then last, learning occurs via changes in the value of the connection weights. So all these four, they are happening, are done in ANN node. Okay. So artificial neural network node. Okay. So this is the typical. So the mathematical model of the biological neuron is nothing but artificial neuron. Okay. In the context of neural network subject, it is called perceptron. Okay. So now I think you can easily understand how the biological neuron is modeled. Okay. How a biological neuron is modeled. It is okay. So that is given here. Now still, so that is further representation. So if you take one node, so the three functions, that is input function, activation function, then output function. So input function means actually you are familiar with what is deep neural network architecture and even artificial neural network architecture. So the architecture, so different layers will be there. Each layer you can have the nodes. Node means what? Node means what is there inside. Inside input function should be there, activation function is there, output should be there. That means node. Okay, but the output of the node will be connected to the many other nodes. That is different. But node means what? The node means there is a input function, there is activation function, there is the output function. So input function means summation of the weighted inputs. That is the input function. Activation function, that whether it is a different activation functions are there, we will see that the sum of the weighted inputs will be passed to the activation function. Okay, then the output of the activation function, that is nothing but output function. Okay, so that is G of G. G is nothing but activation function. G of the summation of the weighted inputs, that is equal to A, that is the output. That will be passed to the other. Neurons or other nodes. Okay, so this is we can visualize the perceptron as a computing unit. Okay, it can be visualized the computing unit. Now, what are the different activities? Because we have seen that there is a activation function. What are the different activation functions? Okay, so because if we pass the summation of the weighted inputs to the activation function, what are the different values that that activation function can produce? So step function, what are the values it can produce? Sine function, what are the values it can produce? Sigmoid function, what are the different values it can produce? You see one by one. See here, it can be simply, you see, we can visualize as, see here, this is bias value. We can the input x1, x2, and up to xm. Then weight w0, w1, w2 up to wm. So that is a summation of the weighted inputs that will be passed to the activation function. That is the step function. So the step function will give only two values, either 0 or 1. Either 0 or 1. So that can be represented as mathematically wx plus b less than or equal to 0, that is a 0, greater than or equal to 0, that is a 1. So this function, this function either it will produce 0 or 1. This is the output of the one neuron. Again I repeat, this is the output of the one neuron. Either 0 or 1. How many inputs you are giving, that will produce either one of these outputs, either 0 or 1. That is the property of the step function. Then sine function. This also will produce two outputs, but that is either 0 or 1, but it can produce either -1 plus 1. Okay, that is a sine function. Then another function, sigmoid and logistic function. What is the speciality of this function? But the previous two function only it can produce two values, but the sigmoid or logistic function, it can produce multiple values, but the range is from 0 to 1 only. Actually, it has one important property. It will do automatically normalization, because that outlier. Okay, suppose if you are is there any outlier in the sense that what is improper inputs. Improper inputs means noise values, noisy values. So because all values are in the one pattern, that means range is from 100 to 200. Suppose suddenly there is a one value, that value of this one 500. Okay, actually all values, the trend is 100 to 200, but one value is uniquely different from other values, and then the trend is 500 or 1000. Definitely that is the outlier, because if you pass that value to the new node, definitely that accuracy will not be good. Okay, so if you use sigmoid function, such kind of input values are coming automatically compressed, because it will quizzes all the values to the probability between 0 and 1. Okay, so that is the advantage. So the value, it can produce multiple values, but ranges from 0 to 1. Okay, so that is the advantage of the sigmoid or logistic function, particularly so that it is used in many neural network architecture. Okay, then software function. This is very important. We see here, this is two classes. Okay, binary classifier. Binary class. But if you use more than one classes, so actually software function is generalization of the sigmoid function, but that it also produces 0 to 1. But you see here, if you give the inputs, it will give the form of probability values, but between 0 and 1. This is the probability values. Okay, so it can be used for multi-classification. So, but it should be in the last layer. It should be in the last layer. That's why softmax layer. Okay, so higher value, higher probability value. We assume that that the input is belonging to the particular class. So that is the property of the softmax function. This is the activation function. That will be that also is a part of the node. Okay. Now, so far what we have seen, what is meant by node? What is there inside node? What is there inside node? Inside node, input function is there. Second one is activation is there. Then output function. That is the node. Now, with the help of the nodes, we can build the neural network. That is because we can have one node, we can have multiple nodes. So the multiple nodes in one layer, the multiple nodes in the different layers. So I can have one layer or more than one layer. Each layer I can have different nodes. So using the nodes, I can build the neural network. So that is why the definition is given. What is the definition of the neural network? That is given here. Okay. So now slowly we are from node to neural network. But so far we have not seen learning. Learning you see later. Okay. Only we are discussing architecture only. Okay, so you know that is the artificial network input nodes, then hidden layer, then output nodes. Actually, input units actually why it's called input layer, because that input values from other layer only, other neurons only. That's why it's called a input layer. Then output also that is also layer only, but we call this that's the input layer and output layer. But usually, so there is no layer only input. It's not like that. Whether we can directly give the inputs or that inputs from other network, okay, or other network according to the biological neuron concept, okay. So that's input layer, output layer, hidden layer. Let's say layer, okay, hidden layer or hidden units. This is once again a representation biological to artificial. This is a simple artificial neural network. So okay, simple single layer. See here, layer, that is input layer, hidden units, then output. So here you can see fully there are this is the layer. See here only one layer there. So when artificial neural will be called as a deep neural network. Okay, that you will see later. Okay, actually more than one layer is there. Actually more than 3 layers. Okay, less than 3 layer you can say that is a simple neural multi-layer perceptron network. Okay, but more than 3 layers, then usually we can call it as a deep neural network. Okay, so then fully connected layer. So fully connected layer also that is a fully connected layer means all the inputs. I can see here if we take this node, that output of because the node means there is only one output. There is not more than one output. Only one output, but this output is connected to all the neurons of the second layer. That is second layer. Like that, every node connected to all other all neurons of the next layer. Okay, that is called fully connected layer. Okay. Now we come to the perceptron because artificial neuron is nothing but perceptron. Okay, because that is why now something we have to see the learning because of the electrochemical changes, the learning is happening in the in biological neuron. But how we can make the a simple neural network to learn itself. Okay, so what is the logic behind it? How we can do it? That is nothing but learning algorithm. We have to build we have to develop the learning algorithm. Okay, for perceptron, perceptron network. So here there is perceptron network. See here, this is a single perceptron network. See here, inputs, multiple inputs, but the output that is all are given to the one single unit. Okay, single unit that is a single perceptron. This is a single perceptron, single output. But if you take about the perceptron network, so here multiple units, all multiple input, all the inputs are connected to all the neurons. Okay, all the neurons in the output units are that is a layer. You can say that is. So here not one perceptron, here multiple perceptron. Here multiple, so we can receive the multiple outputs. Okay, so this is a single perceptron network. This is a multi-perceptron network, not multi-layer. This is single layer only. You can say single layer or single perceptron. Sorry, this is a single perceptron network. This is a multiple perceptron network. Now we will see about this one, how we can develop or how we can build a learning algorithm for single perceptron network. How we can, because see, as per theory, changing the weights, okay, changing the weights that perceptron can learn. That is the idea. But how we can change the weights? Okay, how we can change the weights? Is there any methodology? Okay, because just like that we cannot change the weight. Okay, is there any methodology? Yes, there is a methodology. Based on that only we have to update the weights in order to make the perceptron network or make the network to learn. So why it should be why should we learn? Because what we are doing, human being, just see, we are so the two things are there. Either we can predict the things or we are classifying the things. Majorly what we are doing and we are speaking and we are, that is different. But when you talk about here computation. Okay, computation. Either we predict something or we are classifying. Classification also prediction or kind of prediction only. It is not a regression. Okay, classification also it's a kind of prediction only. Okay, so either we are classifying the objects or we are predicting something. Okay, so not to classification. See, as a human being, when you see the first time, okay, you are recognizing somewhat something you learn. So if you see second time, somewhat you can recognize the person. Then 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, if you see the same person again and again, or if you meet the same person 2 times, 3 times, again, then later you can recognize easily. So what is happening? So we are internally we are updating our memory. We are updating our memory or something. We are learning. We are updating. We are learning. So that later easily we are recognizing. Same thing here. The learning in order to make the network to learn or classify the object. We have to give the training to the network. That is to train the network. Here, what we are doing, train our brain to classify the object accurately. Here, train the artificial neural network, train the perceptron network, okay, to learn it automatically, accurately. Okay, so that is doing by changing the weights. So for that, we have to give the training. Okay, we have to give the training to the network. So because we built the mathematical model only. Okay, because for perceptron network, that is biological neuron, is modeled as a mathematical model. Okay, model is a mathematical model. So we have the mathematical equation. Now, if you change the weights, okay, we change the weights of the mathematical representation, okay, or mathematical equation, okay, by following some procedure, okay, definitely that the classification accuracy of the model will be good. So similarly here, the learning algorithm, training algorithm, okay, we could say learning or a training algorithm. We have to develop, we have to build, okay, to give the training or to change the weights of the perceptron network, single perceptron network. Actually, usually it is the summation of it is actually usually in the mathematical model. If you see, that is nothing but linear equation only. Okay, it is nothing but linear equation. It is nothing but line equation. Again, it is nothing but a regression line. Okay, a prediction or classification. You will see that thing. Okay, see single perceptron network. Just in order to understand how the learning algorithm is built. This rule is called Krebs rule. Okay, you know that the backpropagation rule, but before that Krebs rule. Okay, actually delta rule and the Krebs rule. That the generalized delta rule is nothing but the gradient descent algorithm that will come later. So before that, first we have to understand how that learning training algorithm is built for simple single perceptron network. Okay, single perceptron network. So here, see here you assume that there are 2 inputs. Okay, there are 2 inputs. Then for each input there should be weights. So sum of the weights, that is in the B. Sorry, that is sum. Okay, that is a bias. That also input. We can so sum of the weighted inputs plus and bias. So the summation should be passed to the what is a step function. This is a step function that will be represented by hard limit. So that the mathematical notation, it is a matrix notation. The same thing we can repeat WP plus B. Okay, so that is passed to the activation function that will produce A. Okay, so now if you expand it, you will get like this. This is nothing but what? Line equation. This is simply line equation. Okay, so that the line equation is passed to the step function that will give either value 0 or 1. That's all. Okay, but the same thing you can implement like greater than 0, you put a 1, less than 0, you put a 0. Okay, so greater than 0, you put 1, less than or equal to 0, you put a 0. Okay, so that way you can put it. So if you see here, that is nothing but linear equation. You can have the line equation by equal to 0. So what it will do, it will give the boundary. Okay, it will give the boundary. Boundary means it will classify the object or classify the points, either two-dimensional points or three-dimensional point or n-dimensional points. Okay, it can classify, it can produce the boundary. So now see whatever inputs, okay, whatever inputs you are giving, so with the help of these all these operations, sum plus step function, it will classify into two category. Okay, either 0 or 1. Whatever inputs you give, it can classify 0 or 1. Okay, but what, so definitely, because based on the weights, the performance will be there. Okay, performance will be there. But learning how we can have the high accuracy by changing the weights. So initially definitely we cannot expect the accuracy. After that, by changing the weights, we'll get the accuracy. When you can check the accuracy, definitely we need ground truth. Without ground truth, is it possible to check the accuracy? So we need ground truth there. Okay, so for each input, because we want to apply, because directly we come to the application. So far we have seen that mathematical model. Now when we talk about the learning algorithm, that is specific to the particular application, that is a classification. Okay, classification or regression. So when come to that problem, okay, so now for that we have to we have to adjust the weights in order to improve the classification accuracy. So now for in order to build the learning algorithm, so we need for each inputs, okay, we need outputs target. Okay, ground truth value for each inputs. What is the expected output? But obtained output, that is different. But what is the expected? That is a ground truth. That is a training data set. In the context of artificial intelligence, training data set. Training data set are testing autonomous way. So we need inputs for each input. What is the output? That is the ground truth. So based on that, okay, we have to adjust the weights in order to obtain in order to achieve the obtained output is same as the expected output. Okay, so that is the thing. See here, that's why actually here, as I said in the previous slide, see for initial weights, initial weight is 1, that bias is -1. Now with the help of substituting this one, because it's typical artificial neuron operation only. So we get P1 plus P2 minus 1 equal to this typical line equation. That will be the boundary either that way or this way. So now, what is the significant role of W? Who will decide the accuracy? Weights only will decide the accuracy. Actually, how you can understand, if you take the line, the least square, okay, least square method, regression line. Regression line, what is the equation? Y equal to mx plus c or mx plus b. So here, the error value, who will decide the error value or the minimization? M and B only will decide. So M and B will decide the accuracy or minimization of the error. So that is the important factor. Here, weights, because here because it is a line equation only. It's a form of the line equation. Okay, who will decide? This is P1, P2. This is a multi-variable regression. Okay, multi-variable. So by default W1, by default W2, W1 P1, W2 P2 minus 1. So the W1, W2 is nothing but two weights will decide the accuracy of the their classification. Okay, so now this is a deciding factor. That is an important factor. So we have to adjust the weights. So how to adjust the weights? How we can frame the rule? You see here. With the example, we will see. See here, single neuron perceptron learning rule. It is called KEPS rule. See here, with the example, we will see. So this is the P1 is a two-dimensional vector. Okay, don't forget about the previous slides. Here P1 is two-dimensional vector, two-dimensional point. T1, what is the corresponding expected output for this input? Like that P1, T1, P2, T2, PQ and TQ. So now, what we have to do that our perceptron network, the single perceptron network, to achieve needs to achieve, okay, these target outputs. Okay, when you after training the network, okay, that the network should produce these same outputs of what we have given in the what we have taken. Okay, so how we can do it? How for that? How we can frame the learning rule? Okay, so learning rule then adjust the weights and biases of the network in order to move the network output closer to the target. So in order to obtain the output closer to the target, we have to adjust the weights. Okay, how to adjust the weight? What is the procedure? Before that, what are the points? See here, the P1, 1, 2, what is the expected output? Target is 1 for this input. For this, see, this is a single layer perceptron. Okay, not single perceptron network, not multi perceptron network. This is single perceptron network, and that's why one output only. That's why only one output. Then P2. So P2 second point, there is a -1, 2. That the target output is 0. The third point is the target output 0. So now, okay, we start with the initial weights. We have to start with initial weights random value. That is 1 minus 0.8. Now, as per the rule, what is the rule? Summation of the weighted inputs. That is the function of the artificial neuron. Okay. So summation of the weighted inputs. That is the weight is this is the weight. The input is the first value. Then summation of the weighted inputs. The hard limit is nothing but step function. You pass the step function that produces the actually if you take the sum of the weighted inputs, that is minus 0.6. If we apply step function, according to the step function, it will produce less than or equal to 0. It will produce 0. Greater than 0, that will produce 1. Now minus 0.6 is less than or equal to 0, so it produces 0. Okay, but this is the actual output. But what is the expected output? Expected output 1, but actual output is 0. Now we have to we have to update the weight. Okay, how we can update? See, this is the rule. I frame the rule because target is 1, but the output is 0. So in this case, I frame the rule like new weight is equal to old weight plus point. Okay, as per the rule, I update the weights. So now I got new weights. Previously, I got this new weight. Now I got this new weights. Now with the help of this weights, you go for second input. Okay, second input. Second input is -1, 2. Weight is updated weights. Now summation of the weighted inputs, then pass with step function, that will is 0.4. This is greater than or equal to 0. Greater than or equal to greater than 0. Greater than 0 means 1. So now, but this is the output of the node, artificial neuron, perceptron. But what is the expected output for this input? This input is 0. But actually, what we have been 1. So we frame the rule. Target is 0, but output is 1. So that you subtract. See, the new weight is equal to old weight minus b. See, the old weight is 1.2 minus b. See, now updated weight 30 minus 0.8. Again, now you substitute these weights to the third input. You substitute, but here also it produces the what it is produced 1, but the expected is 0. But for this case scenario, already we have the rule. Suppose 0, but output is 1, then subtract. So now for this is for one iteration. It's called one above. Now using the updated weights, again go to the first input. So this will you do iteratively until that perfect answer you get. Okay, this is the above or training. Okay, so now here are 3 rules. Now altogether is simplify the rule. See here, if t equal to 1 and a equal to 0, then new weight is equal to old weight plus b. If t equal to 0, old weight minus 1, then old minus b. Then suppose equal, then don't change the weight. Okay. Now this is the actual rule what we have established before. Now whether it is possible to simplify it? Yes, we can simplify it. How we can simplify it? E equal to minus t minus, you substitute this variable. Now if e equal to 1, if e equal to, instead of this one, if e equal to 1, you put like this. E equal to minus 1, you can put like this. E equal to 0, you put like this. Then this still you can simplify it. How we can simplify it? So 4.33 you can simplify as 4.34. See here, new weight is equal to old weight plus EP is equal to, okay, old plus T minus C equal to P. See, this is it's called a Kepler rule. So now don't worry about this rule. Just for each iteration you update this. Each iteration you update or you execute this equation. Okay, you execute this equation and this equation. For each iteration, automatically this will be done. So this is nothing but typical mathematical models how they have derived. That's a rule. Because we are talking about the what is it? Dou W by dou E by dou W. How that is? This is a Kepler's rule. Okay, that is delta rule, gradient rule. That is a that I come to the latter. So this is typical. Okay, this is for single neuron. So now you for each input you have to execute this statement. Okay, now you check whether for all the inputs respective outputs you can able to obtain. Until that you have to do again and again. Whether it is we are reaching the accurate result or not, that is different. You can stop it because if you have 1,000 inputs, 1,000 outputs, if you perform different iterations, okay, for all 1,000 inputs, whether you are getting exact output or not, that is simple. Suppose 900 outputs for 900 inputs you are getting exact outputs, only 100 inputs you are not getting exact outputs, you can stop it. That is up to us. Okay. So this is typical how to concept the learning. Now this is for single neuron. What about the multi neuron? Just so you put I instead of here 1 you put I. So this is for each neuron. Okay, for each, because see for each neuron you will get the output. Okay, suppose here we have the we have the only one perceptron, that's why one output. Suppose we have two neuron, two perceptron, you should have two output. For each input you should have two output. So for each one you have to apply this rule. Okay, this is training multiple neuron perceptrons. Okay. Then what is the limitation? See, single perceptron. This is a linearly separable. So it can able to solve linear problems only. Okay, but practical problems it's not linear problem. It's a non-linear. So single perceptron network. Okay, single or multi-perceptron network. Either single perceptron network or multi-perceptron network it cannot solve the non-linear problems. If you want to solve non-linear problems, you should go for multi-layer perceptron network. Okay, MLP, multi-layer perceptron network. That's why here I got linear. What is versus non-linear problems? See here, this is a linear problem. Second one is a non-linear problems. Okay, so non-linear problems. How I can solve it with the help of linearly separable node? Because each node is linearly separable, but non-linear boundary, how we can have it? Non-linear boundary. That is, this is the way. So in the hidden layers, okay, in the hidden layers, if you have multiple neurons, so that can produce a non-linear boundary. Okay, that can produce non-linear boundary. That's why multi-layer perceptron network can be able to solve the non-linear problems. But in the earlier, actually 1986, before that, okay, before that, actually only in the initial stage, only single layer perceptron, the multi perceptron network only have been used for solving the problems. Okay, before invention of the backpropagation algorithm, because of the difficulties in the learning algorithm, because in the network learning algorithm, training algorithm is very important. If you don't have training algorithm, nothing will happen. Okay, because through adjusting the weights only, that the network can learn better, then it can produce the accuracy. So till 1986, even though 1948 it has been invented. Which one? Neural network. But till 1986 it was not problem because of the two things are there. Either there is no backpropagation algorithm for complex neural network, and then even they are using more than 3 layers. People cannot use more than 3 layers because of the computing intensive task there. Okay, because of the backpropagation algorithm, because of the GPU, GPU, central processing unit, sorry, graphics processing unit, GPU, graphics processing unit. Then nowadays everywhere the people are trying to use the deep neural network models. So multi-layer neural networks, okay, multi-layer artificial neural networks are to solve non-linear problems. Not to improve the accuracy, you should go for deep neural network architecture. Okay. So 2 minutes break.
Madam,
I will come back.
so I take this opportunity to introduce our speaker.
We have a city with very scarce of water. Good morning, sir. How are you, sir? And aerial imagery and irrigation, water irrigation system, locate climate and plant conditions, irrigation bill while using the field. All these things can be done as tractors can be used, spot optimized. It has to be monitored and it has to be the people with now we have similar to that in iOS and
Okay, we resume back. So backpropagation, actually I won't teach backpropagation algorithm. Just I will give you core idea. What is there in the backpropagation algorithm? See here, so because of the solution to multi-layer and weight update rediscovered 1986. So after that only, that is a fact, that is that people is trying to use artificial intelligence for solving nonlinear problems. Okay, so that is you know backpropagation how it's working and all. But here in backpropagation it's a training learning algorithm. But it's a kind of strategy. Okay, so inside what is there? What are the steps? See, this is the approach. So that the errors is backpropagated to the from the backside to that is the output layer to input layer. So the error is sent back to the network to correct all the weights. Okay, to correct all the weights. So that automatically the weights is updated. So that that is. So that the network can learn automatically. So that is there. But here, see here in backpropagation algorithm, what are the components? So here they are introducing the optimization algorithm because it is not based on the Gibbs rule. Actually, it is based on the delta rule. That is, see here optimization techniques is introduced. Optimization techniques introduced. So when you talk about the optimization, definitely two things very important. One is objective function, another one is the constraints. Very, very important, objective function and the constraints. So with the backpropagation algorithm, that is based on the optimization techniques only. You can use any optimization algorithms, no doubt. In the backpropagation strategy, there is a optimization algorithm. Optimization algorithm means there should be objective function and constraints, but here no constraint. So only objective function. So objective function in the sense here that objective function is nothing but loss function. So I think you are familiar with the cross entropy loss, mean square error loss, even many other losses. That is depends upon the image processing application, depends upon the domain. You can introduce the error function. You can introduce the error function. That is the objective function. Okay, so that objective function contains what? Objective function. So error means. So already I told that when you talk about the classification, you need ground truth value. Okay, that is the expected value and obtained value. Okay, expected value, that is the ground truth. Obtained value means for initial weights, what will be the output value? That is the obtained value. The difference between these two, that's nothing but error. Okay, so that is mean square error or prediction error. That is the cross entropy, whatever we will see. So that is the objective function. Objective function is a loss. In general, it's called a loss. We have to minimize the loss. Okay, so who is the responsible? How we can reduce the loss? Here already we know that learning improved because of the changing weights. Now the learning is better means error is less, loss is less, should be less. So there is a connection between the loss and the learning. Now already we know that learning because of the weights. Now you can tell that loss minimization because of the weights. You can connect in that way. Okay, so as I said previously, learning can be improved because of the updating the weights. Okay, so learning is better, definitely loss will be better because loss is similar, the difference between the expected and the obtained. Okay, so yeah, learning is better means loss will be less. Okay, the learning depends on the weights adjustment. Now loss also depends on the weights. Now come to the optimization, artificial algorithm. Actually, when I talk about the optimization, whether just make it to recall, optimization that is a derivatives. Usually they will use the derivatives. Derivatives is nothing but gradients. Okay, so here the error. See here, what we have to minimize? Error should be minimized. Suppose E. Okay, E depends on what weights. So we want to minimize. Okay, we want to minimize the error as per the optimization theory. We have to take dou E by dou W equal to 0. Okay, but I am not able to explain why they are putting dou E by dou W is equal to 0. Okay, actually that gradient, that is related to the gradient, but it is there just so you can't study it. Okay, but as per optimization theory, okay, the dou E by dou W, because the E is nothing but error. Error minimization depends upon the weights. So the error minimization, that is the error equation, that loss equation or loss formula or loss equation should be differentiated with respect to weights. Okay, and then in order to minimize the error, dou E by dou W should be equal to 0. If we solve the equation, you will get the formula for updating the weights. That formula is nothing but here delta W. Okay, this is nothing but error. Okay, so this is called a generalized delta rho. Okay, so the delta W is nothing but the weights should be added with the old weight. That is the old weight is equal to new weight is equal to old weight plus delta W. Okay, so that eta is nothing but learning rate. Okay, this is the learning rate dou E by dou W. That is the change in the error. So dou E by dou W. Okay, so this delta W should be updated with the old weights. So this is nothing but optimization. Through optimization technique, we can obtain this formula. So this is called gradients. This is nothing but dou E by dou is nothing but gradients. That is we can say edge. Okay, where different names are there: gradient, edge, change in the weights, rate of change. Okay, there are different names. So this should be updated in the old weight. So this is the thing. Okay, there in the backward propagation algorithm. So now the iterations. That is whether you can until, because error minimization, we have to decide what could be the threshold for minimum error. So you can start the iteration. This is the way you have to use the back propagation algorithm. That is a training algorithm to train the multilayer perceptron network. That's a gradient descent algorithm, different version, momentum. Okay, even inside a gradient descent algorithm, in optimization algorithm, people are using nature-inspired algorithms, particles from any different optimization algorithm they are using inside a backpropagation algorithm. Because here the thing is, we have to minimize the error and update the weights. That's all. The two things are there. So this is simple steps. I think that is not a problem. So first, because weights initialization is also one of the research area. Okay, based on the initial weights only, you will get the better performance. Otherwise, you may not get the better performance. And then computing output, update weights, etc. This is a simple steps. Now when you talk about now come to the deep neural network. Actually, this is a multi-layer perceptor network. More than 3 layers, you get the deep neural network. Water network, you are using backpropagation algorithm as a training algorithm. Inside backpropagation, you can use any optimization techniques. Okay. So now the generalization. This is the important concept in the training, because now whatever I am going to give you, it is related with training the network. Because we have to train the network properly. If you don't train the network properly, you cannot get the better accuracy. So this is the important concept in the training, generalization. What is meant by generalization? Okay, that is something about generalization. Actually, that is the overfitting and overtraining. See here, so we have the inputs. Sorry, we have the ground truth outputs. And also we have the obtained outputs. Okay, suppose the dots, we see that the dots are expected ground truth outputs. The line curve, you assume that it is the obtained outputs. Suppose, see here, if you match all the points, then you can tell that immediately you say that super, it is accuracy super. It is accuracy, but it is not good neural network. Because you are training the same, train the network in the same set of data, but that after training, that network may not work well for the other data set. Other data means same domain but different situation scenario. Okay, so it means it is not good generalization. Okay, and the other way, we suppose it matches all the points. Okay, if it matches all the points, it is called overtraining. Okay, overtraining or overfitting, or it is not good generalization. It is not having good generalization, because it should balance training data set as well as the practical data set, real-time data set. Real time is real life data set, not real time, real life data set, practical data set. So, so we should be very careful. Okay, so how we can do that? So prevent overfitting is equal to overtraining. What we can do, we can adjust some, see here, whether manually or automatically select the optimum number of hidden nodes in order to avoid, because if you, whenever you design a network, usually what we think, if we add more number of layers, we will achieve a better accuracy. Yes, if we add more number of layers, you may have a good accuracy for training data set, but it may not be good for practical data set. Okay, so that always more number of layers always not good. Okay, so and also number of hidden nodes. That's why the people are introduced with dropouts. Okay, in order to adjust this thing, because if you have the network, it should work for all type of domain. So that if you introduce dropouts, okay, some domain you can increase the dropouts, some domain you can reduce the dropouts, some domain as it is can perform well. So that the people introduced, the researchers introduce dropouts. Okay, so that is a very, very important thing in generalization. So in order to achieve the generalization, okay, dropouts you can introduce. Okay, dropouts you can introduce, and even weight cost to the backpropagation error equation, weight cost, right? It is nothing but learning rate. So by adjusting these parameters, because whenever you are working with the deep learning model, this is very important. You should know. Sometimes you see, most of the research what they are doing, download the model and training, they are doing the training, adjusting parameters, and then if results comes, they are very happy. Results are not coming, then they are going for other model. But it is not like that. You have to analyze the network. Okay, why it is not coming, why it is not performing well. You can try different ways, make it work for your domain. Okay. So preventing overtraining. So here, so in order to preventing overtraining, we should have two type of data set: training data set and practical data set. So the okay, our network while training, it should perform well for both the cases. If it is done, then it is a good. So that is the one of the approaches. See here, then second point, monitor error on the test set as network trains. So that is simple. See, stop network training, just pay to overfit error, yearly stopping tuning, and then number of effects is reduced. See, these are the different ways in which we can achieve the good generalization. Okay, and also underfitting also there. This is a overfitting. Underfitting means that see, underfitting is nothing but what is the expected output? Sorry, that obtained outputs curve will be below the all the training data set points. Then it is nothing but underfitting. Okay, that also it is not good. That is not a good indicator. Okay, so now important point: network design and training. How you can design our own network. Okay, how you can do training? What are the points you have to consider while training? What are the factors you have to keep in mind while designing the network? Okay, so those things we have to see. Okay. So now network design and training issues. Design. Okay, when you think about the design, architecture of the network is very important. What is the architecture network? We see in the next slide. And the structure of the artificial neurons. Learning rules also important. That's why people in MATLAB they are using ADAM. Okay, adaptive momentum. ADAM is adaptive momentum, momentum parameters, stochastic gradient, even other algorithms. Whatever algorithms given in the MATLAB, they are using just plug and play. Okay, so architecture of network, structure of artificial neurons, and learning rules. So these three factors we have to keep in mind while designing the network. Then training the network, ensuring the optimal training, learning parameters, data preparation is very important, and other. Okay, now we will see design. Okay, network design. So architecture of the network. What are the factors? How many layers? How many nodes per layer? Okay, determines number of network weights. That's why dropouts. See, that's why whether fully connected layer or partially. Okay, that is we have to decide. Okay, that is through trial and error only. Okay, there is no ready-made formula or something nowadays. Actually, more very rare people working in the designing the network. Only few people are working. Only working in the design network. Most of the people are working on the existing models and applying the existing model to the practical problems to solve the practical problems. Okay. Suppose you want to work in the design network. These are the factors you keep in your mind. Okay. Then structure of the artificial neural nodes. So there, what are the factors important? Choice of input integration. Okay. Choice of the activation function. Okay. So that is very important. And selecting learning rule, whether generalized delta rule, that is a gradient descent algorithm, or momentum descent, or any other techniques. Okay, so that also important. Then network training. So network training. So objective is okay to achieve good generalization accuracy on new example and cases. That is the objective. So before what we have seen network design. Now go to network training. So network training, what are the factors we have to keep in mind? Definitely the inputs. That is the input data preparation, very important factor. Then generalization. Good generalization, very important factor. So and then validation. Okay, validation. What are the different validation test set, production test set. So training data set and the test data set. So how you divide the data set for training and testing? Okay, actually the production for research purpose, for lab purpose, that is different. But when you want to implement it, okay, that is the field. Okay, this is very important factor. Okay, you know that is 70-30% what is division. That is approach to this is the cross validation. Actually, see, suppose 90%, 10%, first 90% training, 10% testing. Okay, Then what combination? You can have a different combination of the select rate 10, 90, 10. Okay, so different way you would select and again you train it. So finally you come up with the result. Okay, so that is the cross validation approach. Okay, and actually this is what is this? Suppose you have the two ANN models, which one is best? How you find out? Actually, usually for this you should go for statistical test. Then only that that the scientific community will accept. Otherwise, may not accept it. But we can use it our problem. But scientific community, you want to accept it. You have to prove through statistical testing. Okay, these are the parameters, learning parameters, weight cost, momentum. So these are the parameters, the ranges in order to fine tune the existing models or even your models. And important point, okay, that network weight initialization. That as I said before, weight initialization is also very important point. Some of the frameworks by default they are having the weight initialization method approach. Good approach is that we can use it directly. Now, and then one thing you have to observe. This is this slide is very important slide. Okay. See, I told that error versus iterations. See, the first case, in the initial iteration, error is big. After that, it is slowly, steadily decreasing. It goes to minimum. This is good indicator. Second one, initially high. After that, it's going down, but it is not coming to acceptable rate, but it becomes steady state. In this case, what you have to do, either you have to reduce the learning rate and momentum parameter. This is, if you observe while you are training your network model, you have to do this. And the second one, third one. See here, initially it is high. After that, it goes down, but it is decreasing. But the error is not in acceptable rate. So nothing but the data is not learnable. That means pre-processing is required for the data. Okay. So this is very important when you do the training. You have to observe this. Okay. Now something I would like to take data preparation. At least you have known, but something you know. Okay. Okay, 6 more minutes are there. I think let me complete this one. Okay. So data preparation, garbage in, garbage out. Okay, that is So input is not good, then entire thing out. Okay. So then this is very important. See, actually, if you are working with what is benchmark data sets, I think you are comfortable with these things because those data sets already pre-processed, they have the good data set. But when you do it for a real, practical data, okay, or field data, then only you will realize, okay, what is the need of data pre-processing. That time your model may not perform well because it needs pre-processing. You have to find out what type of pre-processing you have to do. Okay. See here 3 steps: consolidation, cleaning, selection and pre-processing, transform and encoding. Because these 3 different type of approaches based on the domain. We talk about natural language processing, that transformation encoding is important. Okay, selection and pre-processing is nothing but high dimensional data. Okay, high dimensional data not necessary to give all attributes to the network. You have to select and then give pre-processing. Okay, then cleaning, missing values. Okay, those values. See here, we will see one by one. You know the 4 basic data types: nominal, ordinal, interval, and continuous. Okay, so now that continuous values and interval, these 2 only. So you have to For applying statistical methods, first you have to decide should be pushed to the database. Eliminate and estimate the MCM values. And here only the normalization will come. Remove outliers. Okay, this is categorical probabilities. This is one of the pre-processing values. This will come under consolidation and cleaning. Consolidation and cleaning. And selection pre-processing already thought. That is the random sampling selection, because you have multiple attributes or even multiple data also. Okay, similar type of data. Okay, similar. Suppose action recognition. Okay, same person can perform same actions multiple times. Okay, how you select it? Like that is selection. Okay, sample, because here statistical. Okay, data analytics also will play important role here. Will play important role here. So and then reduce attribute dimensionality. Reduce the attribute value ranges. This is nothing but what is normalization, quantization. Okay, that is the selection and the pre-processing. Okay, then transform encoding. I told that is like single reverse. That is, see, categorical variable should be converted, transformed and encoded in different values, different form. Actually, probably used in natural language processing. Okay. This is how you can get the continuous numerical values and interval something. Okay, etc. So these are the different applications: pattern recognition, signal filtering, data simulation, compression, data mining, adaptive, etc. Okay. So pros and cons of backpropagation algorithm. So that is the problems: local minimum and space-time complexity. It is a black box. Best suited for supervised learning only. Works poorly on dense data with few input variables, but the concepts it can see drone training method for multi-layer nets, able to solve complex problems, non-linear mappings, works well with noisy data. That is very important. Even it will work with the noisy data. Outlier, okay, outlier, that is outlier is different, noisy data different. Okay, but still it can do better. Okay, generalize but if you process it and then give to the network, it will go better. Okay, generalize the well given sufficient examples, rapid recognition speed, because training only it will take more time, but recognition inference will be fast. Okay. So that is actually CNN I won't take, because I think just I'll give the introduction, because after that so far I taught basic neuron, then perceptron network, then perceptron network and multi-layer perceptron network, then learning algorithms for simple perceptron network and multi-layer perceptron network, then road path to deep neural network, that is the convolution layer. I think other resource persons will teach well on convolution network and LSTM. The introduction is there is more than 3 layers and a complex architecture, that is a deep neural network. Again, that backpropagation algorithm inside augmentation algorithm will be used to make the network to learn. So CNN, why that is a special network, that is architecture, deep neural network, there is artificial network, but it can excite, actually it can excite features usually in the computer vision. Just I give the introduction, the computer vision usually will do the hand grafted features. Okay, then the features will be classified in order to classify the objects. That is the so far before deep learning models that scientists have used like that in that way. But after CNN, then the CNN automatically will accept the features and also it can perform the object classification, supervised. It can do supervised learning. So automatic feature extraction plus classification. So that is a specialty of CNN. Okay, but that's why it is advantages over what is the existing in the computer vision application. The existing computer vision applications, we have to excite the edge features, texture features, all those things. Then we have to classify. But here CNN, that is the advanced networks, neural networks, it can excite the features automatically, and classification also it can do automatically. Okay, so thank you for your patience. If you have any doubt, through chat. Okay. Through chat, or you can unmute and you can ask me.
Okay. Dr. Dominic, can you hear me?
Your voice is low.
Okay, Dominic, this is Dr. Kalichali from Computer Science Department. Now, can you hear me?
Good afternoon, madam. Your voice is a little bit low.
Okay. From the system. Okay, now I'm come closer to the system. Okay. Dominic, you have given a very excellent, wonderful session. Actually, CNN was yesterday taken by Dr. Shanmugadi madam clearly. She has given the clear picture about CNN. So you have correctly stopped with that topic within the time period.
Yeah, that's why I stopped, madam. I stopped.
That's what I'm telling. You no need to worry about that because yesterday itself she has completed that topic CNN. Okay, with a lot of examples explained that. But anyway, today with your vast mathematical knowledge, you have given a clear picture about this basic of artificial neural networks from starting from biological to artificial neuron. Okay. So on behalf of this organizing committee, I place my heartfelt thank to you, Dr. Dominic. I listened your entire session because I want to gain some kind of research concepts from your topic. Okay. Okay, Dominic. Thank you so much. I think even.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Okay, so, okay. I've given a lot of examples. No problem. Okay. Thank you, Dominic. Thank you so much.
Dr. Kalichali, the co-chair of this national workshop, in thanking Dr. Dominic for this wonderful session. It was a kind of outstanding session, Dr. Dominic. You gave a lot of the mathematical aspects that are inside the artificial neural network that will really will help the researchers to understand how to look into the problem and what are the hyperparameters to be fine-tuned to fit a model. So this the content as such was very informative, and this session was a fitting session for the research scholars who want to explore the potential of artificial neural network for their research. Thank you, Dr. Dominic, and we really enjoyed the session. And
okay, madam. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Best wishes for your endeavors. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Dominic. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
We can wind up. All the participants, I think all completed your form, okay, feedback form. Now you can go for your lunch break, and we will join at 1:50. Okay, thank you all.